So my name is Matthew Pearson. I am from St. Patrick's in Doylestown. I wasn't confirmed when I was younger, so I got confirmed in 2011. So I've been on the journey since then, so to speak. Most of my upbringing was at a parish in Detroit where I was living, as far as Catholic formation and working with the associate priest there was my spiritual director. So that's really kind of where I formed, proper discipline in kind of building a prayer life, building a spiritual life. One priest said, we were talking about marriage and, priesthood, and he was kind of explaining the differences. And he had said, the reason I became a priest is because I felt like I had all this love to give, and I didn't want to give it to just one person. So priesthood allowed me to give it to a lot of people. And I remember thinking, okay. And then he said, you should go to the seminary. You would love it. And then another one was actually a bishop that I met at a conference, and he's from Africa. And I think we were taking pictures and just saying hi, and talking. He was talking with a group of us, and he literally said, "You should go to the seminary." It's like, they say, "Are you called to the priesthood?" Well, I was told to go. In that sense, I was told, you should go. But that's kind of, those are important things that happen. I think, and a lot of priests will have indicators like that. So yeah, it's a combination of things, but it's a lot of just, trusting in God and not ignoring things when they do happen, because they do happen for a reason, and good things and bad things, but not ignoring them when they do, at least taking them to prayer. So the thing I'm most excited for in the priesthood would be finding broken people, specifically broken families, and reminding them that they don't have to stay that way. They don't have to remain broken. One of my favorite, behold, I make all things new. I think some people get into a funk through sin, bad choices, bad relationships. They get into a funk and they get confused and they get to a place where they don't think they can get out. And so then they just keep repeating what they know, which is usually destructive. Sometimes I think all those people need is literally just, a hug / the gospel. You need some sentimentality, but you also just need to remind them that there is a person, specifically a person, Jesus Christ, who can bring them out of that brokenness and make their life new. Because I think when you've had such a destructive family life or destructive relationships, you really start to think that this is the only way to live. And you can't even hope for something better. You're so locked in. It's like people maybe get in a car accident or something. You just replay that trauma over and over and over again in your head. And you can't think about driving the car without getting in the accident, or if you've been a victim of drowning or something like that, where you only want to get a boat or get on a pier. I think there's a lot of that with people in their relationships, in their families, in just how they live their life. So there is a hope to make their life new, which is, I think, a great, the main tool of prayer is to just make you feel like that there's something better, give you something to look forward to. And ultimately, obviously, heaven is the goal of that. But yeah, people don't even have those basic things. And it wouldn't even so much be my hard work. It's just kind of, just showing them the light. So that, to use the direct, kind of gospel way, show them the light, and then they can use the light to see in the dark. It's not like I have to hold the light for them, or anything like that. So that would be what I'd be most excited about, because I've seen that happen, and that's what our Lord wants. That's conversion. That's salvation, ultimately. So I think the thing most guys who are discerning the priesthood, the biggest mistake they make, and this doesn't necessarily come from me, this comes from a lot of smarter people that I've talked to, who know this better than I do, but I've seen it in my own life, is the number one thing is that you don't have to discern a vocation to marriage. You're already discerning a vocation. You don't discern something that's natural. So everyone is called to marriage in the human sense. don't think that, somehow God is just going to pull this desire for marriage out of you and put in priesthood. Like, it doesn't work that way. What you should be discerning is that everyone's called to the natural order of marriage. What you should be thinking about is, has God done anything to me to call me to a higher order of thinking, a supernatural way of thinking about where I should give my energy, my time, my love. If you've already gotten to the point where you're looking at these types of videos, or you're looking at, what does a seminarian do, or what is priesthood about? If you've already gotten to that point, God has at least given you the grace that he wants you to go to the seminary. So jump in, and see what you find.